Right. Man, if you want to talk to me about anything, you can. And hopefully this will work out just fine. So I'm playing a little music in the background to kind of get ready for this part two. And we started out with Genesis 25. And we stopped at Genesis 25:23. Because in the last video I was talking about the struggle that we have with each other as men of color, as men in general. But it's just time to stop the bickering and the fighting and the differences, because we can always smooth those out with just conversation. And stop the crime against one another, because we can always sit down and conversate about whatever it is. Because actually it tells us as brothers, we don't take each other to the law. Because honestly, the law of this land ain't no law. And if we love one another, we'll do right by each other. And when somebody does do something out of the way, we just pull them in and give them some hugs and find out what the hell's going on. So I'm saying all this to say that to all my brothers who I've neglected or whatever, I apologize for that on the real. And I'm trying to just put some feelings out here where people can understand love is the best way to fight anything. I hate. My mama used to say, hate is like me being mad at you, so I'm going to take some poison every day and hope it kill your ass. You know what I'm saying? So, let's get back into this good book. And I said we stopped at 23, 25, 23. I love me some music. But I don't want no music. No music playing while I'm reading the scripture. Now, in verse 23 it says, and this was the last verse that I read last time before I started running off at my mouth. And the Lord said unto her, 2 sons, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. And they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. That's how old he was. He was 60 years old when she bare the boys to him. Now, that thing about him coming out behind him with his hand on his heel is, and he didn't just have his hand on his heel, he took hold of it. He grabbed hold of it. Okay? That's symbolic. And so are their names. Their names meant exactly to proportion as to what they look like or their behavior. Okay, and his name was called Jacob, Jacob, yeah. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them, and the boys grew. And Esau was a cunning hunter and a man of the field. And Jacob, was a plain man dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison. You see, and that's what they be talking about. The way to a man's heart is through his belly. So he loved him some Esau because Esau was out there hunting, catching stuff, and killing it and cooking it. Okay? But Rebecca loved Jacob. And Jacob sod pottage. Now, what is that? And Esau came from the field and he was faint. So what it was he sodding some pottage? I mean, he had something in the pot, but it wasn't venison, it wasn't meat like, but it brought Esau's butt up in there and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me. Man, no, he didn't say that. I pray thee with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom, because what? It was red pottage. Huh? What? What? Okay. And Jacob said, sell me this day your birthright, thy birthright. Sell me your birthright. Sell me your birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at a point to die. And what profit shall this birthright do to me? And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he sware unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils. You see, he had some beans in the pot. Boy, lentils, them is beans, and there's several different types of lentils. And most beans fall into that category. Well, all beans fall into that category because of the name lentils. And that's something that you need to just look up for yourself. Okay? And Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. See, he didn't want the responsibility. He didn't want the birthright. He despised it before he sold it, or he never would have sold it. And that's where all the problems is coming in with the Esau and the Israelites. Okay? But we're going to get into that some more too, because that's not over, because 26, verse 26 ain't going nowhere. And we're going to talk about a little bit more than that. We're going to kind of get a little bit more serious about what's going on today according to what's in this book. And we need to understand that the only way to do that is we don't have to argue about nothing. We don't have to name call. We don't have to do any of that. We just have to understand that everybody ain't going to see it the way you see it. Or everybody is not going to follow you because you think you're a leader. So what I'm just trying to do is show some love, be respectful. And that's hard to say because sometimes in my history, As a young man, I didn't do that. But that didn't last long because I'm telling you, my mama didn't play that business. And when I realized that there was anything that I could have did to, be show some remorse for whatever I did, you know what I mean? I can only do that and live on by the grace of God. And in doing so, we learn to change. We learn to think different. We learn to uh, follow what's God and only what's godly. Everything else is on some BS, and we need to stay as far away from that as we can. But read your scripture and study. Get you a little concordance, a little book that'll show you where whatever it is you're looking for, make it easier for you to find it. And talk to people like you want to talk to people to talk to you. Do to people what you would like people to do to you, and don't nobody dumping their garbage on them. So let some love come out. Let some peace come out. And the first thing that'll do is it'll free you up. Peace out. Twice.